Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel and welcome back to another video. So you guys, it is the end of 2021 and I wanted to walk you all through some of the changes that are being made for our new year coming into 2022. So if you're new around here, hey y'all, how y'all doing? My name is Shakema. I'm a single mom. I have 4 children, 2 at home, 2 are already out of the home. I have 2 girls, Alana and Shamika. I have 2 boys, Trandon and Jackson. I have a fur dog. Her name is Gracie. I have a couple of fur grand dogs now. I have Acro, that's Shamika's son, her dog's son. And then I have Hondo and Snoop. Those are Trandon's new puppies. Sadly, we did lose Brownie several months ago, but he was a rescue for them, 10 years old, and he just had some health issues that were not going to be able to be recovered from. So Trandon did make the decision to put Brownie down. He was, like I said, a rescue. So anywho, we've been on a Dave Ramsey journey over here for about 11 years, almost 12 years. Jackson will be 13 in April, and we've been on this journey since Jackson was a year old. We decided to do the zero-based budgeting system with envelopes and all of those types of things. It was just in 2020, however, before we even considered doing sinking funds. For the longest time, I could not get what a sinking fund was. I couldn't understand what the sinking funds were. I was like, what in the world does that mean? And I know a lot of people have had that same concern. They're like, what is a sinking fund? So pretty simple. A sinking fund is a pre-savings, right? So let's say I know that I have to pay, Alana's graduating in June, right, of 2022. It's January. I want to have a graduation celebration for Alana. That's 6 months between where we are now and where she graduates. So 6 months. If I estimate the cost of the party, the food, venue, gifts, anything like that, right? So let's say I'm going to save $600. I want to do $600. Let's just round it out, make it nice and even. So $600, that's going to take care of the venue, the food, the DJ, and a gift if we want to do that. Graduation outfit, pictures, all of that. Now that is absolutely not a true number, but we just, for the sake of sinking funds. So $600, and I have 6 months to get that money, because when I have the party, I don't want to have to put that on my debit card, or I don't have a credit card, but just for the sake, I don't want to put it on a credit card. I want to pay cash, right, for all of that. So what I do starting in January is I say, okay, January, February, March, April, May, June, 6 months. So it's $600. How much do I need to save each month so that when that June comes, I have all the money? I need to save $100 a month. So what I do is I take $100 out of my paycheck or wherever the money's coming from, and I put it in an envelope earmarked for graduation. Once I do that, then when June comes, and I do that every single month until June, including June. So then once June comes, in my envelope, I have $600, and now I can disperse my funds, venue, DJ, food, gift, outfit. I can disperse my funds that way. So the sinking fund is money I put into ahead of the specific event that I need the money for. To me, that's the best way to not go into debt. I want to talk to you about the sinking funds that we're going to implement for the incoming year of 2022. Remember, it took me a very long time. I started doing zero-based budgeting. Jackson was a year old, so that was 2010. It took me another 10 years before I even started sinking funds. So 2 things I think that are very important when you start doing budgets. The first thing is your budget is yours. It's very subjective. It's not going to look like mine, so you can't even base it on what mine looks like. You can kind of get a thought process, or you can, say, hey, let me look at Shakema's and what she's doing. It's not always going to be the same. So remember that. The other thing is I am using the Live Rich Planner. This comes from the Budget Mom. Now this one is much smaller than the one I had previous. So the one I had in 2021 that was sent to me by a dear friend, Miss Kelly, sent me. So this is a larger one. This is a smaller one, right? So right off the bat, I love that. Just the size of it. Now, I don't like the size of the boxes for my eyeballs because I need my glasses, but I do keep a paper copy of Sinking Funds, but I also keep a digital copy within my budget sheet. Now, I have another friend. Her name is Glenda, and Glenda's information, she has a shop called Curly Creates. Her information to this specific budget sheet that I'm using now, I only use her sinking sheet, and then I may start using her saving sheet. But right now I'm just focusing on the sinking sheet. But she has a full extension budget sheet that she sells in her Etsy shop. So if anybody is interested in that, please check the description box below. There's a link to Glenda's shop called Curly Creates. And I know several people have used her before. I simply have had gotten into the habit of using the sheet that I was using, but I was trying to navigate sinking funds. And Glenda was so gracious. She actually even went on with me to do a one-on-one tutorial on how to do the sinking funds and use her sheet. It took me a minute, and I may even have to get a little, I may have to get a update on how to use this sheet again, but she's very gracious. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over with you what my sinking funds are. So I've written them all down, but I don't have enough boxes. Now, in the regular budget sheet, this says priority debt payment, but I don't have debt. So I just whited it out and just said put priority sinking funds. And also for the same up here, this says debt daily. I think it says something like daily debt payment or something like that. But let me see. I can tell you in February. Oh, daily spending. So I don't want to know what I'm spending during the day because I really don't spend any money unless it's, I take all my cash out in the beginning of the month and I pay all my bills on the 1st. This is daily income. So whatever money comes in each day, I want to know that. That's what I can particularly care about. Okay, you guys, so I'm back on the sinking fund sheet. I do apologize. I lost that little bit of footage where I put in the car registration, household repairs. Next, I'm going to put in my taxes. And so I'm just listing my sinking funds in order that I have them here. Car insurance. Next, I have PureFlix. After that, I have Ma'am. She has her own fund. Pest control. I have a P.O. box. I have new camera. Oil change. I have homeschool. Let me just adjust. I'm just going to adjust my. There we go. That works out fine. It's perfect. All right, now, so the next thing it asked me is what is my starting amount? So I have that all written down from the last month that I did sinking fund. It asked me for my starting amounts, which I did write down in my Live Rich Planner. Again, remember, I'm always keeping a written copy. So I'm going to write that down. For my car registration, it's $28.01. Household repairs, I have 307 cents. Taxes, I have 1,195 and 35 cents. Car insurance, I have 258, 38. PureFlix, I have 8101. I mean 8108, sorry. Ma'am, I have 195, 26. Control, I have 2528. P.O. box, I have 5003. The new camera, I have 13009. Oil change, I have 80.03. And then homeschool, I have 301.12. Now, these are all my Capital One 360 accounts with the exception of homeschool. Homeschool is still in my regular main checking account because that's just where it has always been. And it's easier. I have considered moving it into the Capital One 360, but it works out fine right here where it is. If I need to move it, then I will. But for the moment, it works out just fine. So this next account asks me how much do I want to save, right? It says amounts. This is how much I want to save altogether because over on the back half, it gives me a running total of what I still need to save. So for car registration, I'm just going to say $100. Well, I'm actually going to say 50 because I don't need that much. House repairs, I'm going to say 1,000. Taxes, I'm going to say 1,500. Car insurance, well, I can actually say 1,200 for taxes because I'm done saving for 21. Car insurance is, I don't remember. PureFlix is 99. That's 100. Ma'am, there's no amount for her. I'll just say 300. So that's how it's going, right? It's just going to go that way. Okay, you guys, as I'm going through my list and just trying to make sure I have everything set, couple things I didn't remember to put on here. The first thing, which is a big ticket item, is the fence, right? So I want to get this side and this side fenced, and then there's a little bit in the between one neighbor and my that's kind of fell down in the storm on their side. So I want to get like a petition put there so that the dog does not go through there. The next thing that I didn't put down was the carpet. And I want to get that done in the living room. And it has to be done. We were taking Christmas stuff down last night and it really is just needing, I either need to clean it or pull it up. But the problem is whenever you clean it, you ended up just having to keep cleaning and cleaning it. You know what I mean? So I may as well be saving for I may as well be saving up for the funds to get the floors done. That to me is a doable thing. And I think that comes from a couple things. First of all, being debt free. When you don't have debt, you can then allocate funds to wherever you want to allocate them, right? So when I started off on this journey, I couldn't see my way clear to do anything extra. This year we've got the tree cut down. What an amazing feat to be able to get the tree cut down. So what I feel in my spirit, because we're getting another bonus in January. So whatever comes from that, sinking fund for the fence, because I already have some in the sinking fund for the fence, right? So that. And then in April, I get a supplement so that if there's anything back from taxes, there's that. So everything that I get in those large chunks will then be for those large ticket items. I don't know how much it's going to cost to do the floors. I don't know how much it's going to cost to do the fence. But I do know that in the next 4 months, I'm going to have some pretty significant chunks that I'll be able to put towards large scale purchases. And that's going to be good for me. In the meantime, I'm still sinking money every month, a little bit by a little bit, as much as I'm able. On big ticket items, I don't necessarily set a monthly amount because I already know my funds are limited to whatever income I get that comes in. I may not, I can't say, you know, I still can't say, okay, well, my fence is going to cost me $1,200, so I need to put $100. I may not have an extra $100. So I start off with, I want the fence, and whatever extra comes in, since I'm not paying that to debt, that goes into the fence account. But my main sinking funds, my household repairs, $50 a month, my taxes, is 15% of whatever income comes in from one mom. Those items do have a set amount to go into sinking funds. The big ticket items, not so much. So the fence, carpet, and then I want to paint the inside of the house. I would love, love, love to redo all the floors in the house. So as I'm able, to go ahead and do that, I will. But for right now, the best I'm going to try to do is that living room because it's a main high traffic area. The living room, the little closet that's in there, and then the hallway on the other side of the house is what I'm trying to save up enough for. So that gives me several sinking funds. I think I just lost a sinking fund. I don't know where it went. Car registration got deleted some kind of way. Okay. So as I'm going through and I'm putting in, you know, items, I'm feeling good about where I am. I'm feeling positive about where I am on my sinking funds category. I didn't add a lot, but I didn't take any away either. I added in 3 more sinking funds, and it may, you know, the sinking funds may grow over time. They may grow over 2022. They may not, but at least I'm preparing for them. And I'm blessed as far as having some start capital for some of my projects, right? Because I've saved already to date, I've saved $3,200 in sinking funds. And again, remember, that's my Capital One 360. So I have one main checking account, Capital One 360, and then I have nesting accounts or my sinking fund account. So I have 10 accounts underneath my main Capital One 360 account. You have to have a checking account, and then you can add in savings accounts. And none of those cost you anything. So what has been real good is I have that checking account. I get a Capital One 360 debit card. And then all I do on my app is I've transferred money from whichever sinking fund to my main checking, and I swipe my card. And once that's done, it's done. Now, I've been talking to Alana about some budgeting stuff as well and not carrying cash. And we talked about having different debit cards or different preloaded like Visa cards, right? Prepaid Visa cards for each of those accounts. And for that would be a way of doing cashless envelopes. If you wanted to have a preloaded Visa for cashless envelopes, you could do it that way, which I think is what we're going to do for Alana. Now we're going to have to tag hers and make sure that she knows which is which and where they are in her wallet. But she would be on a cashless system because we are realizing that not everybody is into cash much anymore, or it's more of a hassle to do cash, although we are a cash family. So we're having to make some adjustments. I like, for my personal, just having my cash per, I don't like it when I have to go in my use my debit card and it's not the full exact amount. Like then I have to go back and try to remember it. If I have a preset debit card for each different account, then I don't have to worry about that anymore. So I'm going to give that some consideration as I'm beginning to work with Alana on her sinking funds and all of her budgeting stuff. So anywho, there that is. But sinking funds made simple for the novice sinking funder. If you are not at sinking funds right now, no problem. Don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. You have time. It took me 10 years to get to sinking funds. 10 years. And I've only really been doing them about a year, maybe a little bit more. But I'm giving it my best shot. So anywho, you guys, if you have questions about sinking funds, leave us a comment down below. We'll answer it if we're able. We'll do the best that we can. I do have a big announcement coming up, which I'm going to make a separate video for in regards to budgets for 2022. So do be looking forward to that video. It's coming fairly quickly after this video. So don't worry. It's not going to be long and drawn out. But it's just in relation to budgeting. And one other thing. So those two things will go together. Anywho, there it is, you guys. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye now.